We are live on location with Elora Ceaser, a brand new black belt who has recently qualified to compete at the World Championships in Croatia this year. Elora, I am really excited to have you on this podcast and talk about that process because for me as like a young kid growing up, like martial arts and all those old martial arts movies of the 80s and 90s were like, I was watching those all the time with my brother, and we'd be watching the kids kind of like start doing their motivational push-ups and their workouts, and they'd be like running around the yard like jogging and sprinting, and then me and my brother would get outside, we'd get out on our bikes, we'd go cruising around, we'd start doing push-ups and we'd start punching trees and stuff like that. It was always such a big fun process, and you're essentially like living that right now as somebody who is trained and got their black belt and now has like a national title. You've got a silver medal at nationals, which we're going to talk about, and an invitation to worlds, which is huge. So I just want to rewind that quick introduction and just talk to you about the process of getting that black belt and what that was like. So take me back to like your early childhood and what kind of motivated you to eventually get into Taekwondo in the first place.
It was my dad. He did karate growing up, and so he was big on martial art. And then roughly in my teenage years, we started watching martial art movies. My dad and I we've probably seen every movie that you could think of. And martial art was a big one. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bruce Lee, any other ones you could think of. And so I wanted to be like that. Karate Kid was the big one where I was like, I want that. I want that to be me. And so it started from there. I joined karate for a little bit, but it ended around just before COVID. So I have a little bit of a 2-year background with that. And then I switched to Taekwondo. So it was, yeah.
Yeah. Did you just decide to do Taekwondo because you wanted something different, or was there somebody?
They were the first martial art community in Prince George to message me back.
Oh.
Yeah, so really great on their communication. And I messaged them, I think, on a Saturday, and Monday I was in training. So it happened really fast. They welcomed me, and it just went super fast, and I just started from there, and I never stopped.
Amazing. Same sort of thing happened to me. I called them up and they were like, yeah, come on in, and came in and did it. And then after that, I guess you were hooked, right?
I totally was hooked. I don't think I've ever missed a class. And the other day I did miss one, and I get a text from Master Boudreau saying like, where are you? And I'm like, because I just never skip classes. Like, I'm constantly there. Like, I spend probably like half my time there, I would say. Like, I'm just constantly training, and if I'm not training, I'm helping out with younger classes, like always there.
Oh yeah. Do you go twice a week?
I go twice a week, and then before nationals we were going on Fridays too, and then Saturdays I was popping in. So just before nationals I was there for 4 times a week.
Yeah, because that's a big job training for nationals.
It was a lot of work and a lot of time. So first, if we rewind a little bit to test for my black belt, Destiny helped me a lot with that. We trained every Friday. She opened up her garage and we trained there. We would train for 4 hours at a time. It was hard training sessions. And then once it got closer to nationals, we moved our Friday trainings into the gym so everyone else could come and join and help out, because for getting my black belt, Destiny was the main person that helped me with that, Master Boudreau as well. But Destiny and I spent a lot of time doing patterns, step sparring, everything that you need, and she was my partner through all of that. So very thankful for her and for her help, because that's what truly got me through my black belt.
Yeah, and I know Destiny's got a lot of experience herself, and she pushes you like so hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But I mean, obviously, like, look at you, right? Like, look where you've gone. So that hard work and that push that she gave you has really worked.
Yeah, and her support too. Like, she was there every step of the way doing everything with me, and so it was just awesome. She stopped coming to classes for a bit, but she started coming back for me on Wednesdays to help me out with patterns and stuff after class. Yeah. She made sure I knew everything that was going on. For like nationals, the breaking and specialty procedures I didn't know, so we would go over that. She helped me fix some things up in my patterns, which my patterns have come so far from where they were before. I actually enjoy doing them now thanks to her. I didn't enjoy patterns before, but I'm still not great at them, and I never place with them. But I do enjoy it. Like, I find fun in doing them.
Yeah. What does a workout with Destiny look like? Like you're talking a 4-hour workout sometimes.
We
What does
talk
that
a
look
lot
like?
too.
Yeah, of course, of course.
But we would usually start with some sort of like cardio. She didn't have a huge space in her garage, but we had a big enough space where we could do cardio. We did patterns was a big one, so that was our workout. Honestly, we went through all the patterns multiple times. We did sparring one night. We did 56 minutes of sparring straight. We did 2 minutes on, 1 minute off for an hour long. So
Wow.
it was hard, and not only am I thankful that she pushed me, but she was also doing that herself too when she hadn't been coming in and training a lot, or she found time to do that with me. So not only was I training, but she was also training, and so that's a lot.
Yeah. And she's what, a 4th degree black belt? So you're sparring a 4th degree black belt as a 1st degree black belt. And like, okay, so first of all, you're getting like, you're joining Taekwondo. You're getting totally into it. You're falling in love with it. You're getting your black belt very quickly, but at the same time, the people that are teaching you, like a 5th degree black belt is teaching you, like you've got Mr. Hossett, I know he's really high up there.
They have a lot of good experienced black belts there as well, which I'm super grateful for, because coming in as a white belt, I would train, especially with like Dominic too, Master Boudreaux's son. He was a first dan as well, so I was sparring him at a white belt, so I was always constantly introduced to that black belt experience and ways of doing things differently and stuff. So we have such a wide range of skill, and so it's awesome to be able to come in and train with so many different types of people.
Yeah, so that's what the classes look like then. They're a mix. They're not just, you're not going there as a white belt and sparring a bunch of other white belts. You go there as a white belt. There's a few white belts and yellow belts, green belts, but you're sparring other black belts as well, and that's kind of what's helping you elevate your
for
skills.
sure. It's such a, like, it's awesome to come in and still train with like Mr. Haas and those other black belts, because they push me to be harder and they see things that I don't see, like keeping my hands up, for instance, or watching my footwork. They point those things out and they have no problem telling me.
Yeah, yeah. So that must kind of be what came into play for you getting your black belt so fast, because you said you had some karate experience. So how much karate experience did you have?
Around 2 years, but I never made it that far up in the belt.
Right. So then you joined Taekwondo. So you, kind of some of that experience came along, but it's a little bit different than karate, right?
Yeah.
But you were able to rank up so quickly, and you got a black belt in under 3 years. Like that's usually unheard of. There are very few people that can get a black belt in under 3 years, especially people who get a black belt and then medal at national championships, which you got a silver. That's amazing. So that must just come down to like intense training, passion on your part, and just putting everything into
And
getting
just
that.
grit, like I want it, and that's why I think I did well, is because I wanted it. I pushed for it. I'm very persistent. I don't give up, and when I want something, I'm gonna go do it, right? And so leading to getting my black belt, I pushed for it. I would double test sometimes, which was a lot of work because you're having to prepare for 2 tests at the same time. Those would lead to like 4-hour day, like testing days, because you would have to do 2 of them back to back, right? And so those days were hard. Training to get my black belt, that was also hard because you have to get tested on everything, right? And so that was also hard. And then going into nationals and competing, that was my second black belt competition ever. The first one, I got my ass handed.
Oh no, we're gonna have to beep that out.
Bad. Yeah, like, I got like, it was a wake up call because it was such a different game. I never competed against black belts, and so it was a totally different. Yeah, it was just so different that I wasn't sure what was going on, and so it was my wake up call, because I was like, I need to start training harder, and I now know what I need to do. And so I came out of that fight. I lost both of my fights, so I didn't place that day, but I came out with an attitude that this is what I need to do now, and this is what I need to do if I want to do well at nationals.
What event was that one?
That was tournament in Vernon. It was hosted by Sundance, and it was just a small little tournament, but it was just, it was for fun.
Okay.
So.
But that's still like, okay, so the level of the people at a just for fun tournament are different than the level of people at a nationals.
Yes and no.
And that was a wake-up call for you. So.
It was, because the girl I first sparred against, she's also on Team Canada. She placed gold in her division at nationals, and she's the person that you want to beat. And so getting to have that experience of going into the ring, first competition as black belt, first match too, and being able to experience that high level is awesome. Like, as much as it sucked because I didn't do well as I wanted to, it was awesome to have that experience and know what that competition is going to look like at nationals, because nationals is so much bigger, and especially going in it as the first degree black belt, getting it 3 months before nationals is it's crazy. Like, and so I needed that wake up call and to say, yeah, you're in for it, be ready, right? So
well, I'm glad that happened, because like
me too. Like,
yeah,
if that happened in nationals, I don't think I'd be here today, right? So I'm really glad I ended up going to that small tournament, because it's what I needed.
mm-hmm. Yeah, because nationals was in Quebec.
It was,
correct?
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It's a long way to travel to not know what you're doing.
Yeah, a long way to go to just to have those 2 matches or 1 match and then go home.
Yeah.
Right. And
I didn't want that to happen. So.
Yeah. So I want to rewind a little bit more, because we're talking about this. You're so excited. You must have been like really popular in high school, and like. No. Yeah. You seem very outgoing and really easy to have a conversation with. What was like growing up like? Because like you were watching those martial arts movies, you kind of had a lot of fun with that kind of stuff, right? What was that like?
Growing up was hard. I lived in Australia for 6 years, and so definitely made me who I am, but it's not part of my story here. We came back to Prince George. I enrolled in I think I was in grade 6, so I was still pretty young, but obviously bullying is unfortunately a thing. And so my high school experience didn't last very long. I dropped out of in-person school and I did it online for grade 11 and 12. But I got it done in the same year, so that was awesome. So I graduated high school a year early, which is amazing. But yeah, it sucks being bullied and people not liking you for who you are, but also at the same time, it was character development. I still move forward from it, and I learned that I just don't really care what other people think, because it's my life and I'm happy. So.
Well, that's a great attitude. So bullying, like I find it hard to believe that you were bullied, because you just seem so much fun to talk to. You're probably really fun to hang out with.
I like to think so.
Yeah. Did any of your like joining karate have anything to do with that?
I definitely joined it. I joined karate in 2020, so that was right around where it started. I went through that, and then it just got really bad around 2022, and that's when I graduated and joined Taekwondo. And so it definitely helped me. I think it pushed me towards martial arts because it was such a community, and I found friends and family within it. And so I had a place where I was accepted and loved, and nobody else really cared. Like, the outside world didn't matter to me at that point, right? Because I found like Taekwondo, I have such a good community there where it's like, I have my best friend there, I have my whole support team there, like all of those people.
Oh, that's nice. Your best friend, who's your best friend?
Jenna Hamill.
Oh yeah, Jenna.
Yeah.
She's great. Yeah.
Yeah, she was the one that made me want to go to Croatia and be on Team Canada, because she went in Finland on Team Canada in 2023.
Oh yeah.
And at that time I was a green belt, and I saw her go and I was like, I want that. I want to do that. That looks cool.
Wow.
And so it was a 2-year-long goal for me.
Yeah.
And I got there. I'm on Team Canada and I'm going to Croatia, so it's unreal.
Wow. Wow, that's exciting. So watching her do that motivated you.
Mm-hmm.
Watching those old karate movies and stuff like that motivated you, right? What do you kind of like resonate with any characters in any of those old movies? Are there?
Not really.
You don't feel like Daniel or Russo or anything like, or I guess he wasn't picked on. He was like doing the picking on. If you watch the Karate Kid and like really pay attention to it, but yeah, like are there any characters like that there's nobody in particular you kind of resonate with?
Okay, I'm a huge fan of Cobra Kai too. New seasons that are coming out. I love all those characters, and I think I relate to all of them just a little bit, but not one in particular, because all of them are they're all high school, and they all create drama.
Yeah, totally, right?
And so I don't think I resonate with just one, but I definitely understand some aspects of where those characters are also coming from too.
Oh yeah.
So.
Do you ever watch No Retreat, No Surrender?
I think so. I did watch that. Yeah.
Yeah. The kid whose dad teaches karate, and he got beat up in his dojo, so then they had to like move, and he made a new friend, and then he's training with like Bruce Lee's spirit or something.
Yeah.
That was one that my brother and I used to watch all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would go out in the yard and we'd do push-ups and we would train and teach ourselves like backyard lawn karate. But those type of shows are the same sort of thing, right? Like with Jenna, you're watching her progress, you're watching her train, and you're seeing an outcome in the end.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of like, I guess you would say that you resonate with her then.
Yeah.
In that case. Yeah. So does she still train with you? Do you still
She
train
does
together?
still train. We are training partners, and she doesn't come often very much anymore, but she's gonna start coming back because she wants to train me harder. She wants to come in and push me because she knows what it was like to live that dream and experience, and she wants me to have that. So she's gonna push for that with me because she's super excited to be alongside me and do that, even though she's not on the team. She didn't go to nationals. So.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't. She wasn't able to make it. Yeah, it's tough to juggle. You know, you've got life, you've got work, you've got school.
Yeah.
Like you're in your second year of school.
Third
right
year.
now? Third year of school. Yeah. You're juggling a job. You've got obviously family ties, right? And then you're competing at an insane level, like the highest level you can get in Taekwondo in Canada, right?
Yeah.
And you're going beyond that now to go to nationals. So like that's a lot of work and a lot of commitment. You've got to, and a lot of things you've got to.
It's a lot of time management.
Yeah, right. And then you're making time here to come here for an hour when you hopefully don't have any other obligations you're passing up on. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So it's hard to manage my time, honestly. At university, I'm taking 6 classes at a time, so I'm there for 8-9 hours a day. Go to Taekwondo on Mondays and Wednesdays, occasionally the Friday and Saturdays. And then I go to work Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then the rest of my time is spent doing school or family, and
Yeah. So what's your training right now look like?
Right now,
Yeah.
simply Monday and Wednesdays. I'm waiting for a schedule to be made for me for training for Worlds.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know what I'm in for.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I need to get ready, and Master Boudreau and I are going to work for a schedule together to get me ready and how we can train for that, because it's going to be such a different competition than in Canada, and I'm super excited for that international level, just the experience of it, being able to see the different competitors around the world and be able to see different styles too, because every country is going to bring in their own different way of Taekwondo, right? So it'll be awesome to see all of those.
Yeah. And then, just the camaraderie that's involved. Like, they're all competitors, but you're all going to be friends at the same time, right? So that's going to be really exciting. Do you know what it looks like as far as, like, number of competitors in what your division will be?
I have no idea. I've heard there could be, like, 18 people, 7. I'm not sure. I think it just varies, but I'm ready for anything. I think of it when I'm competing is I just have to get through one person at a time. It doesn't matter how many people are in front of me in my division. I just have to keep winning my first fight that I'm doing. I can't focus on the next fight, or else I won't be in the first fight that I'm in.
Yeah. Speaking of fighting your way through people, we should let people know who are watching how nationals selection works, because there's usually draws, and you get put up against another person, and it's single elimination. So you spar that person, the person who loses is out, and you move on to the next person and slowly work your way up to that gold medal match. Now, there's also a round robin where 3 people.
4 actually.
There's 4 people, but 3 of them automatically make their way into the round robin, so they don't have to work their way through the draws. And that's solely based on points.
Yes.
So points that are earned at other nationals that aren't selection year, Western Championships, right?
Yeah.
And then all the experience that they get through
Exactly.
provincials and those fun little tournaments. And there were already 3 people in that round robin, and you had to fight your way through the draws to get that 4th remaining spot. Yeah.
Because I had no points. I had 1 tournament behind my belt of points, and I don't even think that counted. So I was at 0. So I had to prove to them, but also myself, that I belonged here and that I could do it. So winning that first fight was the most important thing to me. And watching them warm up, it's such a mental game. It's hard because I was watching her warm up, and I'm like, this girl that I'm going to be sparring against is spars exactly like me. And I was like, I've never had that before because I'm more of a finesse fighter than brawling or side kicks and stuff like that. So I never sparred someone that's like me, and so I was getting in my head a little bit. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, I gotta shake that off and just do my thing. It doesn't matter how they spar; it's how I spar, right? And so being able to get that through my head was honestly one of the hardest things.
Yeah, getting into your head. I remember a match where I saw a guy like chugging all these energy drinks right before, and I was like, whoa, like this is gonna be wild. Like these Red Bulls going down and this other stuff, and taking powder or whatever's happening, right? So yeah, there can be a lot of stuff like that you just see that would get in your head, right, and distract you. But one other thing too I should mention is, based on the point system, that person who you competed against in that match, do you know?
She was a junior that moved up to senior, so I believe that your points are reset when you switch age divisions like that. So she was new to, I think she was second or third dan. So I think she was a second. So she's been training for a long time then, because that's a lot of hard work to do that. But I think it was because she moved up to the adult division where her points were reset, because I know that club that she was a part of also travels a lot for competition and is competing a lot, right? But all those girls that are in my division, I think one of them was a first dan with me and the rest were second and third. One of them was a third dan, and so it's like, I'm in for it. I'm like, I needed to prove to myself that I belonged there, because for the longest time, I got my black belt 3 months ago, so for the longest time I was like, do I belong here? Like, I've been told that my skill level was too high when I was at red belt, but now I've got to black belt. I'm like, this is me. Are we sure that I belong in this division? Because it's just such a new realm of competition as a black belt, and so it was scary going into that, especially at a nationals. But I was really ambitious. I got my black belt 3 months ago, and I was like, yep, I'm going for Team Canada. I was expecting a lot, but I also wasn't expecting anything. I was just wanting to have fun, and if I made it, that was awesome. But if I didn't, I also understood, because I'm coming in out of nowhere. Right? So
yeah, that's really cool. I'm glad you won that first match, because that's what kind of progressed you. How many matches did you have to do before the round robin?
Just the one.
Just the one.
Yes.
Okay, so that win earned you that spot in the.
And then since there were 4 of us now in the round robin, I had to spar 3 more people.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately, I lost my first match, but that happens. It's a learning curve. I understand where I went wrong and where I need to change how I do things, but learning experience. And then I had to spar 2 more people, and then I came out both of those as the winner. But the last match I sparred was super close. That competitor went to the World Cup. She's been competing a lot. She's part of a club that has really good reputation. So I was worried, because I watched her spar 2 other people in my division. I'm like, uh-oh. I was a little scared going into that. But the one thing that I think got me through it was having fun. Master Buddha was like, you're going to do much better if you're smiling, having fun. You just need to do your own skill, and don't worry about how they're fighting. You just have to fight how you fight. And I think that was a big thing for me, is because the mental block is usually the toughest part for me. And so being able to have fun and enjoy what I'm doing is the biggest thing for me. Because if I go in there thinking I need to win, everything goes out the window. Then I'm not the fighter who I know I am, right? And so being able to have fun and just do my thing and not worry about it was a huge part in it.
Yeah, and that's so cool, because like if you think about it, all those people that were already in the round robin had already earned all those points from all those other tournaments already, and that goes back to the previous selection year. So they've had 2 years, 2 years to rack up all those points. And 2 years ago, you said you were a green belt. So that's amazing that you moved into that, and also had a 3rd degree competitor in that, which for the people who don't know, you get your 1st degree, you need to stay at that 1st degree for 1 whole year before you can test for your 2nd degree. So then you get your 2nd degree, you have to stay at that degree now for 2 years, and then you get your 3rd, and you have to stay there for 3 years. So you can see how the years compound.
That's a lot of time they have to train and practice and compete.
Well, that person who was a 3rd degree, that means that they got their 2nd degree, and they waited a minimum of 2 years before they could get their 3rd. So when you were a green belt, they were a 2nd degree black belt. And then a year before that, when you were getting your white belt or trying on your dobok for the first time, they were already a first degree black belt
Yeah.
when you were a white belt. So that's huge. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
a massive, massive amount of training that you went in and had to compete against
Exactly.
to,
Yeah.
to earn your title. Yeah. So crazy. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Second place at nationals is awesome. And then that's where the invitation comes in.
Yeah.
Tell me about the
Yeah,
invitation because
so
I don't know anything about how
The
that
invitations, they switched up this year, I believe. I'm not sure what it looked like in 2023 when they had it, but this year was very organized because Brandon Jennings is also part of Team Canada now doing the team management. And so he's part of the organization, so everything was on track and on schedule. So you had a card that you would carry around you with you all weekend. And if you placed top 3, you could ask them to sign it. Gold was an automatic, you get invited. And then silver, they're like, yeah, we can see what you can do, come in on Monday, and then we'll go from there. And then that was the same with bronze. And so selection day was very fast, very organized, and in and out. Like, we were there still for 8 hours because there was a lot of people.
Wow.
I think there was like just over 100 black belts there, and everyone wanted a spot like that day. There were no color belts there. There was not a lot of audience there. It was just the black belts and all the grit they had because
Wow.
that was the last chance for those, including me, to get on Team Canada because all the people that placed first, they automatically got a spot on team.
Mm-hmm.
And so for us, I wasn't really watching patterns because I was too dialed in getting ready to spar, but our sparring was 1 2-minute round. So you had 2 minutes to prove what you got, and the winner, you went.
Wow. That's crazy. And so this card that you were carrying around, you
Mhm.
had to get signatures from people to
I
kind of...
had to get it signed by one of the head coaches of Team Canada to say that I could go to invitations.
Wow, just to go to invitations.
Yeah.
And that
That doesn't
wasn't
even
a
make you
spot.
team. Yeah, no.
Oh, wow. Wow, okay. I didn't realize that.
So
That's
yeah,
crazy.
depending on how big your division is, the harder it was that day too. Luckily, I only had one other girl with me. And the thing is, I was worried about that because my sparring match with her on Sunday, it was close. It was 2 votes for me, 1 vote for her, and a tie.
Wow.
And so it was really close, and I was like, I want this. I need to fight for it, right? And so I was so dialed in Monday. I was just ready to give it my all because it was a 2-year goal I had to make team, and so for 2 years I wanted this. I worked for it, and to know that it could be over in 2 minutes, I was not going to let that happen. I was like, this 2-minute I'm tired. I'm sore. I'm ready to go home. I've been in Quebec for too long. It felt like I was there for weeks. But it's 2 minutes, and I needed to give it my all. And so, yeah, winning that fight meant everything to me.
Yeah. Well, that's so cool. That's really exciting. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see what it's going to look like in the next few years for you. Like, what do you have kind of in mind for the next few years? Like, beyond Worlds, beyond whatever happens at the World Championships, there's going to be another one in 2 years.
Yeah.
So what do you see yourself doing between now and the next Worlds 2 years from now, regardless of what happens at Worlds?
Keep training. I want to move up in belt ranks. I would like to get my second dan when that time comes. I want to keep training and moving up. I also would like to start a junior girls group because we have a lot of junior girls in our club, and I want them to start competing because I know not a lot of girls compete, and so we have a lot of girls around the age of like 9 to 14, 15-ish, and we have like 15 of them, and so it's a really nice little community and friend group they have. Like, I love seeing their friendships grow between classes, and yeah, like their support is awesome too. They were super excited when I came back, and so they are a main part of why I keep going and why I love doing it as well, because I like seeing their skill grow and their friendships grow, because that's where I met my best friend, and so knowing that these connections are being made is awesome. So I would like to start a group of like an hour training a week just to get the girls together, just so I can work more closely with them, because our kids classes are huge. We have sometimes 30, 35 kids in a class, and so being able to work with them one-on-one individually as a group, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So as a first degree black belt now, you're able to kind of step into that teaching role and
Yeah.
mentor role, obviously. That makes me think of like what you were saying about training with Destiny in her garage, you know. A few years from now, some of those 9, 10, 11, 15-year-olds will now be 17,
Yeah.
18, 19. and you'll probably be the one
Yeah.
training them.
And that's all I
Right.
want. Like, I look at Destiny
Yeah.
and how she supports me and how we're friends, but she's also like the person I look up to and I, who I look up to really. And I want to be that for these younger girls as well, because I know how much that support means for me. So being able to be that for other people is what I want to do.
Yeah, that's so exciting. That's so cool. I'm glad you're doing that, because that's going to be huge for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Like it was huge for yourself, having that community, having those people around you, right, and then falling in love with the sport
Yeah.
because of it. It's going to be the same for those people, right? They're
And
gonna.
so, yeah, like I want that safe
Yeah.
space for the girls because I know it's hard. Like when I joined, I think Jenna was the only girl I talked to for a couple months just because there wasn't a lot around our age. And so having this group that is such a close-knit group of age and also what they enjoy doing and they always talk, I want to keep that going. And I want that to be open for other young girls too, because I know it's harder to find a space for them.
Mhm.
And so being able to do that in a sport that's mostly male populated, I guess you could say, is awesome to have that group going. Because I want them to compete. I want them to feel confident and build those connections.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite things to work on in Taekwondo? Everybody's got, like, I know Mr. Jenny's amazing with self-defense,
Mhm.
right? You've got people that are like so good at patterns, and then you've got people who are just like dedicate their time to sparring.
Yeah.
Like, where do you kind of sit?
I was definitely a sparrer for the longest time. I love sparring, and that's where I'm good at. That's where I succeed in, and that's what I would like to keep succeeding in. But while training with Destiny, I've grown to love patterns. I'm still not perfect at it. There's a lot of work that needs to be done because there's so much that goes into patterns and just movements, and so I'm working on that. But I finally enjoy doing them. Before I would never even practice them, and now I'm enjoying it. And then specialty I've been getting into as well. I competed with that for the first time at nationals. It didn't go as planned, but getting out there and that exposure of doing that is also an awesome opportunity. We did breaking for the first time as well. That hurt. I don't know if I'll
Yeah.
continue doing breaking, but specialty breaking I enjoyed.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if I can keep working on my vertical and getting better at that, then I would like to keep competing with that because it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Let's see your hands. Yeah, they look a little delicate. Yeah, to break. There've been a lot of stories of bloody stories of breaking.
Yeah.
And
Don't get me wrong, it looks cool and it's
Yeah.
awesome when you can break it, but it hurts if you don't go through those boards.
yeah, and you don't get the choice if you want to do like, I only want to use my feet for this. It's like, no, you've got to do.
There's
Right.
5 techniques that you can do. It's for girls, it's elbow, knife hand, turning kick, side kick, and reverse turning kick. But some people opt out if they just do the elbow and the side kick, and then they're like, those are all I'm gonna do. And
Oh
then
yeah.
it just
Yeah.
limits their chance of getting points for that, right? Because each board I think is worth 3 points, and so they just sometimes back out because they know that they can only do the side kick, for example. But it's like, we're close. As a club, we had I think 5 people compete in board breaking, and it's hard. We're all super close, and but we just have to keep working and getting there, right? Because we started training not that far out from nationals for board breaking because we were all focused on patterns and sparring, right? And so I think if we start putting more focus onto specialty and board breaking, that we can really have a strong team from our club.
Yeah. So breaking and then specialty breaking are 2 different events,
Yes.
right? So why don't you tell me what you've.
Board breaking is simply hitting a board and then making it break. For women, it's hard. It's hard for men too, but for me, I find it hard because it's 2 boards, and I know I can break one easily, but I don't know if it's a mental block or I'm just not speeding up my technique to break that second board. But that's hard. A side kick is 3 boards, and so it's pure power, strength, grit, proper rotation, everything like that goes into board breaking, and it hurts if you don't break it. I think it still hurts if you break it, but I didn't break it, so I wouldn't know. Specialty is not breaking a board, but flipping a board in a direction. So you have to jump a certain height to hit a board. For example, front kick, I take 5 steps back and you run, and then you kick as high as you can, hoping you hit the board. I touched it, it just didn't flip up because it's just on like a little hinge.
Yeah.
And so you just have to get enough power to do that. There's like flying side kick where you have to jump over a rope. It's around my chest height, and then you have to jump over that and kick the board. There's a few other ones too, but you're not necessarily breaking the board, you're just hitting it with enough power to flip it on its hinge. So
Yeah. And if you don't flip it, if you just kind of knock it a bit, it's not good enough?
no, it doesn't, unless it has a lot of like clickers in the hinge, I guess you could say. But yeah, you got to hit that thing. But it doesn't hurt so much when you miss.
Right, yeah.
Because you're not breaking it. So
that must look really neat seeing people like flying through the air.
Oh, it's so cool to watch. One of my other competitors that was in my division, she's also on Team Canada going to Worlds, and it was awesome because that was the first time I've met her, but I hadn't talked to her a lot, so I got close with her. She placed first with specialty. She's super good, so she's going to Croatia for that and sparring. So it's also nice to have her on the team because it's nice that I made a friend who I find joy in hanging out with, right? We're similar. We have fun, and we do. I didn't place in specialty, so unfortunately I can't do that in Croatia, but it's still nice to know that she also does that, so I can get tips along the way with her. And so it was super awesome to go to Quebec because I met so many new people, and I talked to people that I wouldn't have usually talked to before because it was such a big tournament, and with selection day added, it was a 3-day long event, so it was long, and there was a lot of time to talk to new people, and so that's why I love Taekwondo as well, is because you just get a community all over the world. Like there's people I talk to halfway across Canada now, and it's weird because you would never do that usually. So it's nice to have that community, and these people come to the same event constantly, so you get the same people every time, and so it's super nice that you build these connections with them over time, even though you might not see them day to day.
Yeah. So one thing you said kind of made me think of something that I want to ask you, because you said you're going to Croatia for sparring, and this other person's going for sparring and specialty breaking. When you get selected for Team Canada, you're not going in all the events that Worlds have. You're going to represent Canada in one specific event, or maybe two if they select you for two. Yeah. And you're going for sparring.
Yes.
Right. How big is Canada's team? Because
I think we have around 36. That number could be off just a little bit, but I think around 36, because there's a lot of divisions and there's a lot of different categories we're all competing in, because there's pre-junior girls, there's junior girls, there's adult women, but then in all of those there's different divisions, plus the men's side, so it's a big team. Yeah. And from every weight division, I think we took 2 people.
From every weight division? Yeah.
And I believe there's 6 weight divisions, possibly 7. Yeah. And so that's, I'm not doing the math, but that's a lot of people.
Yeah. And then when you get into that actual tournament setting, now that's where you're talking about, okay, there might be 2 people from Canada in that weight division, and you could have to go up against another Canadian. Right?
Yes, technically, but I don't think they would put us in the draws like that. Hopefully they would spread out the countries a little bit, because there's such a big selection of them that you would think they wouldn't put Canada with Canada the first draw. But like, say if you guys both make finals, yeah, that's a possibility, like if you're both there. But
and that's where it's going to get really, really exciting, because you're going to get put into the draws, and you're going to look at that and go, my first competitor's from Argentina, right? They're from Italy. They're from Japan. Like, you don't know. They're from all around the world. Yeah. And that's going to make
Which is crazy to think. Like, it's hard to even fathom right now. It's like, that's why I'm so excited for this opportunity. It's just for the international level of seeing these competitors and then being able to experience that in the ring is crazy. It's going to be a story to tell.
Have you sparred anybody from Argentina?
Nope.
You've never seen anything like that? Have you seen them?
I watched Jenna's fight when she went to Finland, and I think she fought someone from Ukraine. And just even from there, like the different styles they have of like Taekwondo is crazy. Like everyone does different techniques, different drills for sparring and stuff like that. So being able to see how those work in the ring it's incredible. Yeah. It's a little scary.
Yeah. All right, because it's going to be hard to train to like compete against that without knowing.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's where Master Boudreau and Brad and Jennings are like, we got to get you ready. Yeah. They basically say, get ready to be hit in the face. I'm like, that's what they're going for.
Yeah. Wow.
It's just because it's going to be so intense, because it's a big tournament. Like you have to get invited to that. So people aren't there to play. Like they're there to win. Yeah. And so you have to be ready for that. And I need to get ready for that, because it's hard to go into something where you don't know what to expect. So,
but not only just the training and stuff that's involved, but like it's a huge financial cost to go there, because because Team Canada, like you're part of the team, but the Canadian team, the delegation doesn't pay for you to go.
No, you still have to fund yourself.
You still have to fund yourself, your flights, your accommodation, your food while you're there. Like there's all those expenses that come onto that. And do you have any plan for that?
I'm starting fundraising now because I've heard that it can be around $6,000, which is a lot because considering I'm self-funding, I'm in school, I'm working and training on the side, so it's hard to be able to come up with that money to be able to go. But I'll make it happen because I want to go. I want to experience it. So I'm doing things like 50-50 card draws. I have a GoFundMe account. I want to do bottle drives too, so I'll probably get started on that. And I would like to make t-shirts for our club too, just to get things going, because I want to start now, because 4 months is not a long time to be able to come up with that money.
4 months.
Yeah.
4 months. Wow.
I think 20 weeks to be exact.
Yeah.
This week, so it's soon.
Holy. So, okay, when did you get your black belt? 2 months, 3 months?
3 months, so I think it was March 15th.
So you'll be going to Worlds as like a black belt who's had their black belt for 7 months. Ouch. No pressure. I don't mean ouch. I mean like, wow, like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be an eye opener for sure. Like I'm super excited for this opportunity though, because not a lot of people get it. I know girls in divisions below and up from me that have been training for years and they haven't made team, and their hard work and dedication doesn't go unseen. Like they are still amazing athletes and stuff, but to know that I have this opportunity 3 months after my black belt, I'm so thankful for it, because I know that not a lot of people get this opportunity, and it's such a once in a lifetime opportunity, you could say. Like yes, you can go every 2 years and try out, but to be able to get this opportunity of where I am, being 20 years old, still in school, just got my black belt, like I'm so grateful for it, because it's a dream, honestly. Like it's a lot of hard work, and but I'm so ready for it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the club and Master Boudreau are going to help you with that fundraising goal, and there'll probably be some businesses in Prince George that'll kind of look at you and maybe fork over a little bit. You can put their logo on your shoulder or something. You know, but yeah, hopefully something like that happens, and you can kind of get a little bit of recognition around town from people about that, because that's huge, and that's a huge expense, and to kind of come up with that yourself at 20 years old, wow, that's difficult. And but you've got a lot of 9 to 15-year-olds that sound like they'd be good at knocking on doors and collecting bottles. Maybe you're gonna have everybody dressed up in their dough box and ringing bells for you.
I'm so ready to go collect bottles every weekend. Like I'll do whatever it takes to be able to get me to go, because I want to go and I want this experience and opportunity to go. Yeah. Especially as Master Boudreau is one of the head coaches for Team Canada, it makes me really happy to know that I get to be one of his students that go. Yeah.
And just for the people who don't know, Master Boudreau, 7th degree black belt. So he's got decades of experience behind him. Like he's got, talking about how long it takes to train, he's got 6 years of experience between his 6th degree and his 7th degree. Yeah. So when we talk decades, it's like more than decades. It's a few decades, right? And he's a great guy. He was on our episode number 1. And I think you're probably episode 16-ish, around there. So that's pretty exciting, the two of you. He came in and talked about training and everything. And it's funny because that wasn't that long ago. But in the amount of time from that point till now, you've kind of come up to this level, to the level of like, wow, now you're sitting here in front of us and you're telling us about that. That's so exciting.
It's like, it's one of my proudest moments. Like not only for me to be able to say that I achieved my 2-year-long personal goal, but to be able to know that I also made him proud. Like when I won that last match and I got silver, he was almost more excited than I was. I started crying, and he was just over the moon about it, because like I would imagine that he likes to watch his students succeed in his teachings and how we do things and how we can adapt and stuff. So knowing that I also made him proud and the rest of like our community at our club proud is an amazing feeling, to know that I did that.
Yeah, well, you're an extension of his teaching, and so that would be huge. Like I'm excited for you, and I'm hearing these stories, and it kind of gives me shivers sometimes thinking about it, like the goosebumps. But like your family too, your
Mhm.
mom and dad, they must be hugely proud of you.
Yeah, they're super excited. I called my mom. She started crying when I told her because I was crying because I was just, once my hand was raised on Monday, knowing that I made team was an extraordinary feeling that I'll never forget because all my hard work paid off and I did it.
Yeah.
And I proved that and it just is amazing.
Now, what about your dad, who you watch these
Oh,
old martial arts movies with?
He was super proud. Yeah, my mom passed him the phone and he's just over the moon about it. He was super excited for me. They both want to go, but unfortunately it's just too expensive to be able to bring everyone.
Yeah.
So who knows, they still might come and watch, but it's also hard to do that because it's also like I could be up there for 4 minutes or I could be up there for 16. Like, who knows how well I'll do and how far I'll go, right? So for me, $6,000 is totally worth 4 minutes. Like, I will do that any day.
Huh.
But for them to watch something they could also watch live, they could do, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to base of a vacation that's almost like 10 grand for 4 minutes, like, right? So I don't know if that, like, of course it'd be worth it for them, but it's also hard because just finances is, it's hard to travel nowadays, right? So
it is. It's very difficult, but yeah, it's going to be so much fun, and I'm glad you had that kind of connection with your dad with the old movies, and now he's seeing you kind of step into this, like, because in all those old movies, even the new ones, the Cobra Kai, right? They all, you know, it's always the story of the underdog, right?
Yeah.
And they something happens in their life, and it points them in a certain direction towards martial arts.
yeah,
Then they start training, and then they come out like, on top
Yeah.
in some way, right? If you're, you know, no retreat, no surrender, like I said, and you're fighting Jean-Claude Van Damme at the end and saving the town from the property developers, right? Or whatever it is. It's just, there's silly storylines when you look at them now. But yeah, they're exciting. And now you're kind of living that like in real life. Like that's, the show is happening for you in real life. And that's kind of like exciting. It's neat.
it's crazy. Like, I still don't, it doesn't feel real. I still can't believe that I made team. Like, it's crazy, and I have nothing but thankfulness and gratefulness for this opportunity, and I'm just super excited, and I'm super glad that I have the support behind me that I do, because our club is amazing and they've supported me since day one. And to know that, like, people like Destiny believed in me when I was a white belt. Like, she still brings up memories from when she would teach class and I was a yellow belt and stuff like that. So to know that these people have been along me my whole journey is crazy, and now they got to keep supporting me as I go do this awesome thing. It's like, it makes me happy for them because it's their teachings and their training sessions and their lessons that they've taught me that's made me who I am, but also how I've done and where I'm going. So
yeah, I was doing a little bit of research on you before this so that I could kind of get a feel for the timeline, and I saw some pictures from Master Mackenzie's seminar when he came to Prince George, and you were there, and you're wearing a yellow belt, and I wish I brought the picture, but the belt's like hanging down past your knees. It's right. It's really long, and you could tell you were a beginner. Just the way you were kicking, the way you were standing, stuff like that. You could tell. And now, like, you sit like with confidence and your big smile on your face and everything like that, and you're competing at a huge level. Like, what do you remember about the changes, kind of going from, you know, white belt till now? Like, just kind of take me through when you kind of realized that things were changing for you and that you were gonna be.
My confidence, for sure, that like skyrocketed. I remember Destiny once taught a class, and she brings it up all the time. It was about prearranged sparring, and I was a yellow belt at the time, and I forgot it halfway through. It was me and this other classmate, and we did a prearranged, but we forgot halfway through, and I just started like sobbing because I forgot it, because I was worried because I didn't do it. And we laugh about it to this day, but it shows me how much my confidence has grown because I'm out here competing at a national level. I've learned that it's okay, that you don't have to place a medal in every division. As long as you're working hard and you put in the work and you put in the effort, that's what matters. It doesn't matter the outcome, right? So being able to learn those life lessons of, as long as you do your best, it's okay, is a huge thing, and that definitely played a role in my confidence.
Yeah. So you kind of saw yourself kind of growing and developing through that. And What else? Do you feel more confident when you're kind of out and about in public too?
Not really. I like to think it's almost like my secret identity. Like my my friends and my family are all from the club, so I don't. Yes, I go to school and I go to work and stuff, but like a lot of my communications happens within the club. So nobody. I like to think that nobody knows even who I am, and sometimes I like it like that because it's like I'm living my life and I'm happy, right?
Oh yeah.
But being able to also have this opportunity to come on here and speak and share my story is also amazing because then people get to know my story and who I am. So
Yeah.
yeah, I have this inner confidence of who I am and who I've become and who I will keep becoming. So that's awesome, but it's also, yeah.
And through that is coming now your ability to teach and your interest in teaching.
Yeah.
And like an interest in teaching is one thing, like because I know how young kids can be, and they're usually a lot of times a parent will put their kid in a martial art just because they need to burn off energy, right? And to give them kind of that outlet, but then also have somebody who's like really passionate about what they do, actually teaching them the martial art and teaching them to focus and concentrate and stuff like that. I see that as being, it's going to be a huge benefit for these young people to have you kind of teaching them and mentoring them along the way. So that, like, we're going to have to reconnect in like 4 years or something and just talk about this again, because there's going to be some people that I'm sure are going to come out of that club who are also going to carry on. And I'm really curious if you're going to be the one kind of showing them, you know, the ropes like Destiny taught you.
I sure hope so. Like that's all I want is to be a role model because not only am I setting then, not expectations, but I'm setting a good example for them. But then I'm also then working on myself and bettering myself for these girls because I want them to see what they can do and that nothing will stop you. And as cliche as that sounds, like life's hard, but like it's not impossible. And to be able to get through all these challenges and do things and still be awesome and do what you love and be good at it is important to me. And so that also betters myself then because I want to be better for them.
Cool. Well, if people want to see you train and stuff, how can they do that? Can they just pop into the club and watch, or can they just sign themselves up and try out a
I would
class?
say
How does that
come
work?
sign yourself up and try it out. Like I've honestly found my family within that club. I love it. I love spending every minute there. Sometimes our class starts at 7. Sometimes we're there till 9:30. There was a night that I didn't get home till 10. Like it's such a close-knit group that I love being there. Training is also super fun. There's like different classes every day of the week, Monday through Thursday. I would say come try it out because the chances are that you'll love it and you'll want to stick with it.
Yeah. And what do they teach there? Like what kind of stuff can you learn like throughout the week?
From everything, like physically you learn sparring, cardio, discipline, stuff like that. We do patterns, self-defense, anything around ITF Taekwondo, right? But then you also learn life lessons of being, like it's important that you can stand up for yourself. Like we had a conversation the other day in class about bullying and when is it okay to use Taekwondo and if it's okay as a self-defense if you're being hurt, but also what else could you do to navigate that situation, right? And so being able to have those conversations with younger people is also really important because that could be their only outlook or outlet, right? Because maybe they don't want to tell their parents, or maybe they're having trouble in school but they don't want to talk to a teacher, so they can come talk to me or Master Boudreaux or another assistant in the class, right? So they learn lessons that are also mental too, because it's a big part in our life, and Taekwondo plays a huge part on our mentality as well.
Yeah. So about Taekwondo, you said sparring, you said power breaking, you said specialty breaking, you've said patterns, we've said self-defense. That's all encompasses Taekwondo. Did I miss anything in there?
I don't believe so.
Yeah. Why don't you talk a little bit about each one of those things and what they are? We'll start at like patterns. Like what are patterns?
It's all the fundamental movements placed in sequences all together. Some it can go from 19 moves to like 64 moves. Like it's a lot of work. Footwork is important. It's all about balance, angles. To the beginner, it might just seem like boring or it's just repetitive, but also as you grow and you learn and you develop in the belt ranks, you understand the importance of it, because that balance teaches you how to stay on your feet while sparring. Those angles help you, again, spar. Like it's all the fundamental movements of everything we do in Taekwondo. So it plays a huge role in our sport because it's what everything is based upon, really.
Hmm. And those pattern techniques, do they kind of like translate a little bit into sparring, maybe?
For
or-
sure, yeah, like a lot, like side kicks, or some of them are like hook kicks, or even blocking techniques. All of those can be used in sparring, but also like real life, so self-defense too, it can play a part in.
Mhm. Is patterns, you said, or something that you weren't really too interested in when you started, but then now you're kind of getting more interested
Yeah,
in it?
for
Yeah.
sure.
Do you find that like self-defense, is that something also you're interested
I
in?
do really like self-defense. I will say I'm not very good at it. Like if Mr. Jennings is teaching the class, and I'm used as like a example, yeah, I can't get out of anything.
He's so good. He is so good, and I've seen him demonstrate certain techniques, and I have no idea how he does some of them sometimes. He
And
just,
so, yeah,
yeah,
it's crazy. But watching him teach the kids, it gives me hope for them. It makes me feel better about them because they're learning these skills, but also confidence in doing them, right? And so it makes me feel better for the kids as well because I feel better learning, even though I'm not great at it. But I still
Yeah.
enjoy doing it so much. So
yeah. And learning some of that self-defense must elevate your confidence level, especially for a young person, because in school, like, there is bullying and stuff like that, and you'll always have that one bully that'll like grab you by the
Yeah.
collar, right? And, and like, imagine just being able to like grab their wrist and just peel it off.
well,
you know,
exactly, right? But I also love self-defense because it's fun, especially like when Jenna's in class, we just have fun with it, right? Because we can like do the throws and the like grapples together because we're close to the same size, and I'm not trying to go against someone who's like 200-pound man.
Yeah, right.
Right. So
Yeah, a peer that's kind of the same. as you.
exactly.
Yeah. You've got about probably 12 inches height on
Oh,
Jenna.
for sure.
Yeah.
But
Just kidding, Jenna. It's not that much. But then you get into, so you've got your patterns, you got your self-defense, and then sparring, which is, you said, is really fun.
I love
Yeah.
it because you get to adapt to it and you can make it who you are. Some people love to use their hands more and punch people more and only do side kicks, but I do like the hook kicks. I've been trying to do axe kicks more, reverse hook kicks, stuff like that. I'm a headhunter because I have that
Yeah.
flexibility, right? And so I like those more finesse type of techniques. Like if you want me to do a back kick, yeah, that's probably not gonna happen.
Oh, really?
Like I can do them, but like that's not gonna be my go-to.
Oh, yeah.
But it's good for when you're on like offense.
Mhm.
No, defense. But yeah, so sparring you can adapt to. You can change it to who you're competing against, but you can also change it to what you enjoy doing and what you like and make it suit your techniques better. So if you're a really good side kicker, do that side kick. Like keep going with that, right? So it's really flexible to what you're good at, and it will help you succeed because you can make it what you want it to be. It's not right or wrong.
Mhm.
So
And the sparring isn't, it's called sparring, it's not fighting.
Yeah.
Right? It's not full contact.
Mm-mm.
And you wear gear.
yes,
Yeah. So you're protected.
headgear, feet gear, and hand gear.
Yeah.
So
So even though you're a headhunter
Mhm.
and, you know, you kick me in the face, you're not going to cause any.
you're not gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
I don't kick that hard, but also like you have the helmet on, so you have the helmet like on the side and the top. It's just your face you have to worry about, but
Yeah. But with black belt too comes a lot of control. So you
exactly.
find, yeah. So that's actually a funny topic because like competing at like a white belt, right, with absolutely no control and horrible technique is way more dangerous, like way more dangerous than sparring a black belt. Because like you can go into a black belt and they can just decimate you in a match, right?
Yeah.
But they'll just tap you here, tap you there, touch
Yeah.
you there. And as far as being decimated goes, that's just scored on numerous
Yeah.
times. But you'll come out of there like unscathed,
Yeah.
right?
Sometimes they will hit you really hard, like to the gut. I've gotten a few side kicks like right to the gut where it just takes you a minute to recoup, but
Oh yeah.
it's not like they're hitting you below the belt, for instance, right? Like
Yeah.
stuff like that where it's still a safe fight, so you're
Yeah.
not gonna get hurt.
Yeah. Were you able to land any of those big high kicks on your competitors? Yeah. Yeah. How'd you
'Cause-
feel about that?
It feels good. It also it helped because I was the tallest one in my division, maybe by like half an inch, but I used that half an inch.
Yeah, that's good.
And so,
yeah. And to be able to like kick head height, right? That's an exciting thing.
it makes me feel good that I was able to succeed in the skills that I know I could do. Because I'm never disappointed when I lose, but I'm disappointed if I don't spar the way that I know I can, right? And so
Yeah.
knowing that I was able to use my skills and my strong suits and sparring at nationals, it made me happy because I was like, that's the fighter I am. That's how I spar, and I'm happy that I was able to do that.
Yeah. So you're all geared up. You got you've got gloves on. Your opponent's wearing a helmet. So even if you do connect and it's a little
Yeah.
too hard, you've got like 2 levels of
Yeah.
cushion on you.
And you wear a
protecting you.
mouth guard, so
And a mouth guard, yeah. So you're protected.
you're
So
fine.
so when it's sparring, it really is sparring. It's not fighting,
No.
right? It's not a fight. Yeah.
It's like
So
tag, kinda.
yeah.
But you want to keep tagging them, and you don't want it to be tagged.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's fun. It's like the
Well, that's
the
where you
musical
have to treat
chairs.
it like a game, right? And have fun with it. That's what Master Boudreaux kept saying. Smile, have fun while you're doing it, because you'll be more loose, you'll be faster, you'll be able to move, and you'll be able to throw these techniques without thinking about them. And so,
Okay, let's talk real quickly about the breaking and specialty breaking, because you were practicing specialty breaking, but you also did a little bit of breaking, but it was kind of not really your thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
not my thing.
Just because that one is too much contact, and that's striking boards with your bare hands, right? Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah. So what do you like about it? What do you like about the specialty?
I'm quite flexible, and I can almost reach all the heights with 1 foot on the ground. My problem is jumping. I can't jump, which is a problem, because specialty is quite literally jumping to reach a height if you want to do the technique properly. So I know my technique's not there, but I have the ability to do it. And knowing that I have that ability makes me want to push for it, because I know I can do it. I just need to get that right technique down. So I just need to figure out a way that I can train that to be able to reach the heights that I need to.
So what you need to do, since you're at the university, you need to go find some basketball players to train with and get them to teach you to jump.
Seriously, jumping's fine, kicking's fine. Jumping and kicking, I can't do it for some reason. I just can't do it.
Just combining the two.
My feet just literally won't leave the ground. Even sometimes during patterns, if I need to do like a 360 jump, my feet don't leave the ground.
Oh, okay.
And so that's like the biggest struggle I have is jumping.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you'll get there.
And I want to keep competing. Even if I don't place in any of these, it's good exposure. It's good practice to get my nerves out, because I get really anxious before competing. So being able to, even if I don't break any boards, or even if I don't jump the heights of specialty, I still want to keep competing in them, because I know every time I do, I get just a little bit more confident, which helps me calm down the nerves for patterns and sparring. So.
Oh yeah, right on. Cool. Okay, well, we're gonna wrap up. And I just want to, like, on conclusion, just want to kind of talk about like how people are going to want to follow your progression and stuff, and maybe they want to help you out financially in some way. But you said you've got a GoFundMe, right? So that's active right now and it's live.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll maybe try and share a link for that. But you're going to be doing a bottle drive. You're going to be go cruising around town looking for people to kind of help you that way. So that's great. Are there any other things you're going to be doing?
I'm doing a 50-50 card draw right now too. It's slow, but it's still going. And to follow me, I want to be posting more on social media just to keep myself accountable for training and making sure that I'm getting my hours in. And filming for me is the best way to see my progress, because I can see what I'm doing wrong, or see what I need to fix, or see what I like about it, because you get to watch yourself, right? And so that's the best way. So I hope to post more, especially on our family Taekwondo Instagram right now, because I run that, so everything that's posted is mostly by me. So we can post more about that if people are interested on the journey of training and stuff like that too. So.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a great place to put that information, and so people can just tune into the Family Taekwondo Instagram page and see what you're doing and where you're at, and maybe they can even pop in and do a training session with you.
Pop in and try a class. It's fun.
Yeah, cool. Okay, Elora. Well, fantastic having you on. This was
Nice
an
being
awesome
here.
conversation, and glad you can make it in for that.
Me too.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.